Purchase your tracks today.
True mental cosmic peace in war times. This is a little small response to Malach's disciples video, the Noopooh Noon Part 1. So what I want to do is just what we always do, expose how they so quick to jump to conclusions and make the most erroneous statements that they can make because they don't really study and research anything. And when they do respond, it's always like this. It's no sweat to us. We're going to have an official response that's going to explain the symbol, no doubt. But what I want to do is first give the people who having a chance to see what the books themselves says before we even give our explanation of them. Okay, so what we're going to do is take the video that he put up, and I'm just going to take a snippet of it just to show you, just from him speaking, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he always tries to leave a back door because he knows he doesn't really know, but because he's trying to put on for the cult instead of just dealing with the facts and information, which he claims he does. But first, you got to do a lot of research. The way that the nature books are written, it's designed a certain kind of way, and you need sound right reason for it to work. You know, that's just like having a car with no engine. You need the engine for the car to work. And because these cult members are using descendant reasoning to try to explain everything that's above sixth ether or sixth mind, this is why they always fail. So we don't have to rush to put nothing out like they do. But these are some of the pointers I wanted to point out in the video, so when you watch the whole video you will see. First point I wanted to make is that when you listen to the video, Malach is reading from the Holy Tablets, the Scientist Tablet 5, pages such as 382 to 383, for example, that talks about the bull and the constellation and etc. Also, he's reading from the Degree of Christism, page 230, nothing which it has to do with the symbol. Second point, he uses the Crux Ansata book by the father of science fiction, who was the one who made another science fiction book called War of the Worlds, which was made, well, the book was written in 1897 and it was made into a couple of movies. I think Tom Cruise was in like one a couple of years ago. And this guy here, who he's using his book as a basis, was somebody that was a part of the Catholic Church, and he got a hold of some information about them, and then he started writing propaganda books against them. So just a key note that he just look him up with the book that he's using, the Crux and Sata, and that guy was a writer, and he wrote science fiction novels as well. The third point I wanted to make was nothing he read on our symbol, it applied, nor did he provide any evidence to justify their corrupt unk. And I guarantee you, when they get to part 2 or whatever part he's going to drag out to get to the Ankh Tawi, it doesn't really matter because it's fake. It's a corrupted symbol. That's what people need to understand. So when you get a chance, go to my video. The Ankh Tawi is a corrupt Kemet symbol, which addresses that. But they want you to believe that their symbol, portion of them believe that the symbol is ancient, and another portion believes that they just created it for their own little cult, which is what Prince York was saying in the video we put out called Correcting Prince York. So again, this is how you know they're not united. As Khonsu said, they're not united, because when something is united, there's nothing conflicting in the information. Yeah, people may be separated based on interpretation. But when you talk about information, the information is supposed to be what it is. People may interpret it, but their interpretation also comes from what's written in the book, and then they have these side conversations where people say this and that. But usually when something is not true and you put enough light on it, that's when the conversation takes place and different versions start being dispensed out toward the code. Therefore you see the disunity and the misinformation that they call an outformation. Point four, he took the word Tua and Ra together, and it said it created the word Torah, which is this is pseudo. You'll never find no such foolishness. This is what we talking about. Y'all do not ask these clowns for receipts, so we asking them for the receipts. Show us what Tua, T-U-A, and Ra made the Torah. In the fifth point, he then jumps back into the tablets, reading from the Scientist, page 383, number 354, and has nothing to do with the seal of Almighty Nature, nor the Ethiopian Egyptian Ankh. So what we're going to do is just give you an introduction of what the nature of nature itself says about the symbol, and then me and Anoop will come back and then explain what the symbol is. But let's listen to this clown and his unconfident response of how he doesn't know what the symbol is, but he wants to do a video about the symbols, which he don't talk about neither symbol in his correct form. But we're going to give y'all the facts and the evidence without no problem. And for the record, Mr. Malach, the T symbol that you keep mispronouncing as Tua is Tau, T-A-U in the Greek. Tua means yes in y'all language. Get yourself together, man. Stop running out here making yourself look ignorant. The Tau is not Tua. And you can basically see who stole from who. That's ridiculous. You can't even pronounce and get the letters right. Come on, bro.
Ways, and different in appearance in some ways as well, you know, as far as some features. So again, associating the Torah or the Tua and the Tua Ra, all with the Phoenicians in Mesopotamia at a certain time, this all gives birth to your Cain and Abel story about two brothers, one stronger, one older, younger, shorter, etc. Okay, now continuing on, all this is important because when you're dealing with the Tua, all right, you're also dealing with the serpent. This goes into water worship, and this is why we use names like Noon, okay, because Noon identifies with the primordial waters. But these are all symbolic to the age of Pisces, which is equivalent to the age of Jesus and this particular Tammuz of the Antichrist, son of Nimrod. So now, what are the lesser mysteries? The lesser mysteries are the esoteric teachings that became religions. So people walk around and they dress a certain way and they do certain rituals, but those rituals are almost meaningless, right? Because it's been so watered down over the years, the meaning of things has become pretty much diminished. Now let's look at the symbol. You see the cross there, so there's no denying that the Tua is involved there, okay? And you see the circle on top. Now, a person would have to show me where this symbol has its origins if it's not where I'm saying it is right now, okay? And you also see the circle at the top and a circle at the bottom. You see the double circles in there, which looks like also a Pisces symbol, just altered slightly, okay? Here we have the Crux Ansata. There's a whole book by H.G. Wells about the Roman Catholic Church involvement. And there you see that symbol there. It almost looks like an Ankh, but it is not an Ankh. And they have different meanings. So when you see the circle on top of the Tua, okay, that has a complete different meaning and origin of when you see the womb on top of the Tua in Coptic Christianity, early Coptic Christianity. So what happens is, because all religions come out of Egypt, you have many similar symbols that have slightly altered meanings or looks. All right, so you have many different variations that take place when a nation is being built and using a lot of prehistoric symbols, stories, and events to fit into their own account, right? So many symbols are alike, but they're not exactly the same. Some are equivalent, but the history behind them are not. Okay, let me read this one more time for this symbol. It says, the Ankh has also been associated with the crux ansata of the Coptic Church. This was a cross in the form of a T, which represented the Greek Tua, and an O, which represented the Greek letter Omega, meaning last, doomed, or dead. Thus, this symbol represented the mark of death. The death is the deception and betrayal and murder of Osiris, Usur, by the brother Set, symbolic of Satan. Alright? Thus, you have cipher with Lucifer, giving you Lucifer. Now, a lot of these things that I'm saying when I'm talking about the serpent, okay, or Lucifer, again, these are water mysteries. These are water religions, just like the Torah or the Torah, which has a beginning talking about the Tainin, or the great serpent in the waters, similar to the Egyptian stories and many other stories. All right, so all religions are the same. They just have different interpretations when it comes to different places geographically. Okay, so now that we know the circle on top of the Tua and the origins of the Tua, we have to go back and ask, well, which cross are we using and why? All right, symbolically, what are the origins of these things? And the big question is, are these two symbols the same? And my answer is no. And in my next video, I'm going to show you why, and I'm also going to get into this picture here and the meaning of the Tua symbol with the circle on top when it comes to alchemy. Okay, the science and the Kabbalistic things that were being used at the time of these symbols. So what you have in this case, you have two symbols, one symbolic to the rising of the sun, Osiris, and one symbolic to the death of Osiris, which would be the setting of the sun. Okay, and that's where the Tua cross comes in specifically, not the Ankh. Again, these are two different symbols. Now, all this is according to my research. So if someone else has a different origin and can prove it with some type of facts of the circle over the Tua, then I'll be gladly to listen. Until then, peace YouTube, Wadu.
So you just heard, basically, he still doesn't know what it is. He's guesstimating. He went into water religion, which is Noon science is not a religion. He's using certain things from York's books that he didn't cite a lot of sources. And what York was writing about in the Holy Tablets has absolutely nothing to do with the seal, the Ethiopian Egyptian Ankh. It has nothing to do with that. And like I said, I just wanted everybody to hear this whole crock of mess to show you that this is why you're supposed to challenge these people who just come out and just say anything. And when you don't challenge them, it makes them believe that they are correct. So let's go into the introduction to the nature of nature and read what it says about what the symbol symbolizes. So just for the record, this is just defining what the symbol symbolizes and some of its meanings now. But when the King Anu and I return together, he will explain way more the ancient origin and how it evolved, meaning downward, until Afro-Unu revolved it with the help of Noopooh into its original form and what it represents, because the symbol has many meanings to it, which Afro-Unu wrote about here. So let's take a look at the messenger of Noopooh and Noon and what was written therein, just off of listening and reading what the book says about what the symbol is. Even if you don't accept it or not, that's not the point. You will see that it has none of those things that it's saying. The only thing that is true is what the letter O is sitting on, but it's going to go into that itself. So let's get right to it. Introduction to the nature of nature, pages 149 to 152, and it states, listen to reason. Figures 11 and 12 shown in this paragraph are the sealed circles of order and chaos. The smack circle of order, same as the smack circle of cosmos, as illustrated in figure 11, is how the order circle looks when all available detailed information about the cosmos and its products and offsprings are summed up and sealed in the proper color for the outer contours and configurations.
Purchase your tracks today.
Of the circle, the colors for the circles will be disclosed in future writings. This volume is the introduction book number 1, the smack circle of disorder, same as the smack circle of chaos. As demonstrated in figure 12 of this paragraph, is how the disorder circle looks when all available detailed information about primordial chaos and its activities are summed up and sealed in with the proper colors for the outer contours and configuration of the circle of. Of course, the letter N on the smaller circle in the top half of the circle of order, see figure 11, represents Noopooh, the primary creator and mental resurrector, and the letter Z on the circle in the bottom half of the big circle symbolizes Zoopooh, the secondary creator and evolution processor. Let it be remembered always and let it be known. Listen to reason. The cross on the chaos circle means indeed that the universes of eternal nature have finally and definitely died a physical death and have decayed and disintegrated. See the cross in figure 12 of paragraph 194 of this topic. The cross in its various forms is a symbol that goes back to the beginning of evolution approximately 18 million years ago, and it is a sign of evolutionary and astronomical powers of the dead used by all ethnic races of people down through the ages of space, matter, and time. Let it be remembered always and let it be known. Supreme Being, as stated at the very beginning of this book of knowledge and learning, the arrow marks inside and outside the geometric figures in this topic indicate the direction clockwise or counterclockwise the circles are revolving and rotating. In this seal, the eternal seal, the endless circle, the internal circle, exists all knowledge, all understanding, and all wisdom for all time, all seasons, and all cycles, and from this ultimate seal comes the Egyptian and Ethiopian Ankh. The top half of the ultimate seal is indeed the circle half, and the bottom half is surely the cross and T half, as shown by figures 13 and 14. In figure 13, the biggest circle encompassing all other circles is 1444 degrees because it contains the smack circle of cosmos, 720 degrees, and the smack circle of chaos, 720 degrees, and is therefore the ultimate circle of existence and endlessness, since one of the circles in it is always and continuously existing and representing all. One of the circles is either the cosmos or chaos. Form B, seal, in figure 14 is the seal. It's a seal version of the Ankh. The Ankh is a T cross with a full circle on top of the letter T in place of the top half of the vertical cross piece. See figure 14, where form A plane is located. Perfect circles are the perfection of forms and figures. Let it be remembered always and let it be known. Listen to reason. The ancestors of the Ethiopian race used the circle, the letter O, the first letter of order, atop the T of the Ankh to verify the cosmos or order of absolute nature, and the T, the first letter of the word termination, on bottom of the Ankh to confirm the chaos, disorder, or turmoil of absolute nature, thereby uniting and embracing all that there ever was, all that there now is, and all that there will and can ever be.
Purchase your tracks today.